Hi everybody. You're watching the first video in a series of four on the repair of this lock. It was the first time I ever dove into one, so I wanted to record everything, and I've got both my failures and my successes. So first one up is the side plate. I had to remove the side plate to get in there. I did a diagnosis on it, and I determined that the only way to fix it would be to take it apart. So I had to remove the side plate, and that was kind of tricky going. So here's the video on how I fought a few battles and lost, and then finally won removing the side plate. So enjoy. Hey everybody. To get this lock apart, usually you would open the shackle, and there's a plate on here. I don't know if you can really make that out or not, but usually you can pop out that plate. Well, since we can't get the shackle open, then because I believe the cam sheared off, then we're not going to be able to get that plate out without. I was thinking about maybe drilling a hole or something, and then like running a screw into it and raising it like that. But then I have a hole to plug and all that stuff. So I decided to try and use this stuff. This is just metal putty. I use it in my challenge locks for refilling some cavities that I make when I'm making recesses and stuff like that for pins to get caught on and stuff. So I know it sticks to brass really well. I know two things: it sticks to brass really well, and also it comes off brass really well. So my plan is to stick a glob of that to the very top of that plate, and then I wish you could see it better, but it just won't come out on camera. And then I'm going to take this really thick threaded wood screw, and I'm gonna squish it. I'm gonna squish the putty around it really tight, and I'm gonna let it dry for a day. And then basically what I'm hoping is it'll give me a gripping point to pull that off. And that way I don't have to drill a hole, and once I get the plate off, I can just take a file or a grinder and take off all that putty, and it should just, and like a wire brush, should just leave the brass after that. So we're going to see if it works. If not, this will be trial number one. If that doesn't work, we're probably going to have to drill a hole. But got a nice consistent color now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this here on the side of that plate, making sure I don't go over the edge, because if you go over the edge, it's not really going to help stuff much. Alright, so now the plan is let this dry for 24 hours, and hopefully we can use we can use a hammer or something and pry up on that, and it'll pop that plate. And then I can just simply file off or grind off the other stuff, and then we can get the plug out. We'll be able to get the shackle open. That beautiful Yale. We'll get into you, buddy. Don't worry. We'll get you fixed up. Let's get a focus. So anyway, we'll let her sit now. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, guys. Today, it's roughly 1 day later. And you can see the putty's hardened up down there, and you can see it's got a little extra arm now. It's like a watering can. But anyway, I'm going to take this hammer, this old hammer, and I'm going to stick the piece in there like that, and then pry back on it. I don't know. I haven't tried them yet, but I think I like the hammer idea better. But I'm just worried that it's just going to pull the putty off. So let's see what happens. I just need a tiny little corner to peel up. I don't need the entire thing to come off. I just need a tiny little corner. So I'm going to start putting a little bit of friction on it, and there, yep, it just pulled right off. Didn't stick at all. I should have hit it with a file, but it just pulled right off. Like I said, that stuff sticks to brass really well, but doesn't stick to brass very well. So, well, that idea's out the window. So I think what we're going to have to do is drill a hole. I hate to say it, but we're going to drill a hole and lift up on it that way with a punch, and then try to fill it somehow later. I want to show you guys my failures as well as my successes. So that was strike one. All right, I'm going to come up with a new plan. Okay, so here we go again. The first attempt didn't work, so we're going to go to a little bit more destructive of a method, and we're going to try to cause the least amount of damage as possible to this thing, because it's a cool old lock that I have not seen very many of. So, and it's Jeff Moss's, so I don't want to totally destroy this thing. So, as you can see, I got out my Dremel. My mom and dad got me that for Father's Day. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And we're gonna, what my plan is I'm going to just take a little piece out of the corner of that plate, just enough so I can fit like a punch or something like that in there, and try to peel that back. And then we can fill it later with either this putty, or we can try to braise it or something like that. But we're just kind of experimenting at this point. So I'm gonna start removing a little bit of material. Here we go. You can see a little dimple starting to form there. This bit isn't working very good. I figured it would just cut through it like a knife through warm butter. I have to switch to a drill. Okay, so now you can see I'm through you can see that cavity there now. You can see I'm through the plate, and hopefully that's all the damage that we're going to have to repair. And hopefully I can find a way to repair that so I can put it back together. So let's see if we can't just pop that out using a little screwdriver or something. It doesn't look like it's going to be that easy. Let's see here. Find something that can fit down in there. Nope. But we got our cavity, and just to save time, I'm going to turn off the camera and go through my tools and see if I can't find anything that'll fit in there to peel that back. So we're almost there. Okay, we got the side plate popped, and it looks like a freaking train wreck right now, but I don't think we're too far gone, but you can see that side plate starting to peel there. I had to make the hole just a little bit bigger, and I just stuck this screwdriver in there and pried with all my might, and it came out. So let's work this out. So we're gonna just kind of work our way around this thing. Okay guys, sorry about the abrupt ending of the last segment. My boss called me and said I needed to be to work in like 15 minutes, so I basically had to drop what I was doing and run to work. So now it's a little past midnight, and I just couldn't wait to get this thing open. So figured that we should take a look inside and try to figure out what's going on with this baby. I'm going to work around the camera here and pry at this and see if we can't get it to open for us. So I'm going to keep just working my way around here. See, I don't know if you can see that yet or not, but I think I feel a spring or something. But this is my first time ever doing this, so. Alright, so you can see there, it just erupted, if you want to call it that. And there's our pin chambers, just like we wanted. So now, you can see all that dirt in there, but this thing hasn't been open for a lot of years.